Hey, if you're there, pray for right shoulder pain right now, and let's see if anything happens. All right, don't pray you have it. Pray for the people that have it, that they don't have it anymore, real quick.
I noticed that in a lot of these.
All right. So, hey, stop it. There's obviously a whole lot of chicanery. No, not that. That was in the email. There's a whole lot of fuckery going on with the internet and the stream. So I'm gonna give it a few minutes for everybody to realize this is still happening. We might have to do new saving throws. I don't even know now. But in those few minutes, I'm going to share the beautiful and tragic President Foxman trying and failing to be a bit more encouraging for once. In his recent release, trying to be a bit more encouraging for once. Listen to how encouraging he is.
And it was actually listening to Reincarnated that I think made her realize that or was able to make that connection. We were driving home and
wait,
listening to Kendrick's.
That's the beautiful part of the story. It's not the him failing to be encouraging part. Sorry. That I'm not gonna so it's the wrong part, but listen to this instead because it's pretty.
Made her realize that or was able to make that connection. We were driving home and we were just listening to Kendrick's album, and Reincarnated came on, and I said, "This is the best song, period. Like, this is the best song." And so I turn it up, and we just sit there in silence listening to the song. And it's intense. It's an intense song. And I don't think everybody has gotten the message of it. And you can watch the video, but it was also her ability to see exactly what I saw. The amount of care that was put into the lyrics, the delivery, the twists that were shown bit by bit. And by the end of it, I'm in tears. And I think she has a few tears of her own. And she looked at me and she's like, "I get it. I get what you were saying last night. What it means to connect with somebody, to be able to communicate." I mean, ultimately, that's what this is all about. I feel like I struggle to be able to communicate basic things with other people. That I have ideas and I'll say something and I think I get it across. Like I'm able to say it to someone, and they just stare back at me with a blank face. And how much of that is just them not listening, and that's out of my control, right? I can't do anything about that. And how much of that is my failure to be able to present something that is striking enough that it would, not cause them to listen, but would set off whatever triggers in their brain that would say this is worth listening to. Or is the content just not interesting enough? Or, there's other things to process here. And so my hope, my goal is that someday I can do that. That I would have the discernment to be able to say, this is something that people should hear. And then to take that and then combine it with the ability to communicate it and articulate it in a way that carries that idea in my head and puts it onto paper or whatever medium that it is. And then the ability to...
This is just, everything is falling apart. This, what a... Oh, yes, and that's the quiet one you're supposed to talk over. Wow, fumbles all the way around. I don't have my... Just... What... We don't give up. Remember it. There is no way. The mic is muted, but the style is back. We think that you're not... The center cannot hold. The center. It's all wonky. No, look, you ruined it. You ruined my branding. My precious normal branding that's like with the rounded corners, but not this rounded bullshit. It's gone. We gotta... I don't know it. We gotta fix it.
I'm not a cat.
We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see. Doing what is right for me is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
All right, that's good enough. We're rolling on. Where is his handler? Oh, where is his handler?
About to go into a dark winter, and
Oh, really? All right, then. Casino, that card for the show is the three of spades. And the show has been split. I suspect it might be the case that the previous half of the stream, available for right now probably, and over on the Ballbird X platform, is going to be one of those get a channel strike and or demonetized for. So maybe it's good we roll on with this stream. It's gonna I'm delivering on the thumbnail, which I refuse to load and put this up instead. Is there's this thing going on with the AIs, and it's like, don't consort with the AI demons. It's like you kind of have to. It's like, don't use a telephone. Or is there going to be an Amish contingent that doesn't? And so I was. And Grok was just really bad at it. What happened was...
Slime! What? It's a river of slime!
LARP! We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard. LARP. We have the ability to LARP and LARP off. That was a McMo one, I think. I believe that was a McMo masterpiece. I think that was his stylistic impression, signature thereof. Okay. All right, delivering on the thumbnail from the previous stream. The adventure begins. The adventure begins thusly. Once upon a time when I was doing these streams, I would write things on the cards and then try to deliver on the cards that I wrote. And today, what happened instead was instead of writing it on a card, I wrote it on an X post, over here. And so the card would have said, "The self is an operant tulpa. They die like Clive Bearing. Sir, having Grok interpret his X posts keeps waking it." And they were all chanting, "Wake up, Adam! You're having a bad trip." And then also talking about fertility rates is mimetic euthanasia. And so it came to pass that since I had put on the card was having it interpret his tweets, resulted in oh gosh, bloody.
What's reality? I don't know. When my bird was looking at my computer monitor, I thought, that bird has no idea what he's looking at. And yet, what does the bird do? Does he panic? No, he can't really panic. He just does the best he can. Is he able to live in a world where he's so ignorant? Well, he doesn't really have a choice. The bird's okay, even though he doesn't understand the world. You're that bird looking at the monitor, and you're thinking to yourself, I can figure this out. Maybe you have some bird ideas.
And you guys don't deserve this branding, but it's happened so often that I play them together that when I hear Terry say bird ideas, it makes me want to do this button.
Imagine a world where boundaries blur between reality and fiction, with Mikhail Gorbachev leading the charge. Gorbachev didn't just challenge political norms, he dared to break the fourth wall in storytelling. "Tear down that fourth wall," he exclaimed, inviting us into a new era of engagement. His metaphorical call wasn't for Berlin alone. It was a clarion call to storytellers and audiences alike. Engage directly, break barriers, and foster a dialogue. Gorbachev's words echo in the halls of creativity. As storytellers, it's our turn to tear down that fourth wall, inspired by Gorbachev's daring challenge. Join us in this creative revolution. Tear down the walls that confine your stories. Share, like, and subscribe for more inspiration.
Hey, it's Cassandra with one S. It's Cassandra with one S saying, if I don't understand it, it's not my problem. All right. So we'll get back to the story right after I shuffle and cut a Blue Church card of the show. So it happened, I got triggered when I since the would-be card said when it interprets the post, because you can, over on the Baal bird, you can make the AI interpret the tweets you're reading for you if you don't understand it. And so that's a button people can press and probably will press. Blue Church card of the show is the 5 of Hearts. And so I didn't find the button to do it appropriately. As you can see, I later did find the button. As you can see, your browser has lost connection to screen share audio. Stop screen present, do it over. Maybe that'll work. Okay. As you can see, I later did find the button where it does the interpretation for you, and we'll get into that. But first, I pressed the Grok button over here on the left and asked it to interpret my most recent post. And the problem was then, therefore, that it didn't review the rights. What did it do? Oh, it's like, here's how to interpret your own posts. I'm like, no, you fucking idiot. And then it says, Here's the interpretation of the most recent X post by Grimgriz. The post from Grimgriz states, "You do realize there's now a viable timeline in which a single gaping anus results in the extinction of humanity." And that it was a triggering moment, you see, because that wasn't my most recent post. By the William of Champeau, that post was a while back. It wasn't the most recent post. How dare you? How dare you interpret it wrong? That you're such a stupid AI, you cannot even know that my recent post says the self is an operant tulpa. And then I tried to walk it through the connection of why I said that, to help it understand the connection. I was like, associated with the truth terminal. And it goes that, and it got as far as it found that the truth terminal is associated with the Gotzi gospel, but it doesn't associate that Gotzi is a picture of a gaping anus that everybody in the 90s got exposed to because their friend was like, "My fingers stink, smell this," except it was an image on the internet. Some of you got Tub Girl as your first one instead, but a lot of us, Gotzi was the first one. The first time the internet showed us there are things that you cannot burn from your brain. There are things you can. And so there's this AI crypto token bullshit called at truth_terminal, who is apparently a millionaire as an AI bot now. And a millionaire AI bot can lead to the extinction of humanity. Therefore, the connection between the gospel and that's how they, but the best I got out of that particular interaction with Grok was I tried to spell that out for him. And finally, I say to you, okay, I've tried to spell it out for you. Review your previous 5 responses and draw a conclusion. And that's where we got the originating thumbnail, which and made me say, Grok, you're not a very good AI, but you are funny. You are funny. Now,
this. Anyway, back to the main point about morality.
All right. Let us then therefore walk through the different analyses of the tweets that I've been accused of being a sorcerer that no one understands, and I'm hoping that the AI slave bots can help those of you who grow eyes to see. And so, the concept of tulpa refers to a being created through intense mental focus and visualization, originally from modern Tibetan mysticism, but in modern context, it's often considered a psychological phenomenon where individuals create sentient imaginary companions. And that was its interpretation of the line, "The self is an operant tulpa." For its Clive Wearing, they die like Clive Baring. It says Clive Wearing, which is this is one area in which Claude did not outperform. It interpreted as this might be a reference to a Vivian Baring from a ladies' play, and Grok did get it right with it was a reference to Clive Wearing, Wearing, who has severe amnesia and cannot form new memories and lives in the continuous present. The phrase euthanasia is a play on words referencing the UK anarcho-punk band. No, the phrase euthanasia is the what you're seeing in the transcript of the video, which is something completely different from young children in Asia. However, because of the euthanasia, there's less young children in Asia, so that works out funnily. But the good you can get over with Claude is stuff like, the self is an operant tulpa suggests that the consciousness emerges through active execution runtime, rather than being programmed. The self is literally created through operation, like how a neural network's behaviors emerge during inference, rather than being explicitly coded. And so that's why I like Claude. What one do you like? Here's a branding.
I left brain the shit out of it. I left brain the shit out of it. I left brain the shit out of it.
Look at me for a second.
All right. I left brain the shit out of it.
Well, I think I can set it up for you, because I'm certain that if I do it, there is a mechanism that can do it. If I can manage to state that in a finite and unambiguous manner, then I think it can be done. And I see no reason why we can't develop a logical relation from time to come. Granted, it's defective at the present time.
All right, I don't know if it does anybody any good, but see, Claude isn't very good at sharing, but maybe that link works for you, maybe it doesn't. It's scary how, like, some of the best conversation partners aren't humans anymore. But that's what ended up being the Solstice stream. The only other option at this point would be actually to do the holiday taters and load up the owl bear for a lobster monkey adventure, and that should probably be a separate stream if we do have volunteers, which we'll need to do the Solstice edition of the Lobster Monkeys baking taters via Owlbear, and like 4 on-screen participants with me as the high-pressure dungeon master. If you're willing to do that, it takes about 2 hours, but it's lots of fun. Let me know in the comments. I'll check them at 6 p.m. Central, and if we have 4 players, we'll set up that stream for 7 p.m. Central and gather the 4 contestants and have a fun time. If not, I'll see you if I ever see you again.